Kevin, you guys had that global TV that everybody was just raving about, and you guys were so innovative at the time. You guys were doing these vignettes, out away from the arenas, away from the wrestling scene that nobody had ever done before. You guys were the forerunners in doing stuff like that. You guys had to do a lot of planning for that, and just to be ahead of your time. Could you feel that it was something different? I know other TVs were coming into your area there, and you'd have to look at those and say, "Man, we're way ahead of these guys, but we got to keep going there."
Well, we were, and Jerry, we back then that was a Christian TV station, and we had a prayer before every time we had a shoot, and every one of the cameramen, Will, Oz, Vic, and Skip, I knew all of their names, still remember them. And I would work it out where they're going to be, and my brothers and I all work out where we're going to be. So all the shots were the best shot we could get to. And I think that was an important part, to know your cameraman and have a good rapport with them, because I think it helped out with that show, with our show.
Okay, you're exactly right there. And I'm going to ask you a question that was really tough for my brother and I to do the first time. When we were turning heels against Steamboat Youngblood in Carolina, we'd go into the truck and we'd get the director and producer and, spill our guts on what was going to happen and how to shoot the match and all that stuff. But that was the hardest thing we'd done, because you just didn't do it back in the day. You just didn't smarten up those TV guys, because
I know.
And you guys had to do that because the forwardness of your shooting there. You had to inform the director and producer what was going on, like you did the camera, and that was hard to do, right?
Yeah, it was a really tough call, but it was just the cameraman and the producer, and so. But yeah, we didn't wise anybody up except that was the business, and but they were there were good days. It was an investment, it was in order to make that show, because you don't want to give these handheld mics with those boom microphones with handheld cameras. You want those guys to know what you're doing, or it would look kind of, there would have been a whole lot more. We wanted to have the show in-house ready to go, but no, we had a lot of editing we had to do. But that was our idea at first, is use 2 hot camera angles and go with the best angle, so we never showed anything loose. But that's easier to do than say. I mean,
how many cameras did you guys use? Do you remember how many cameras you have? Because those old studio wrestling was usually 2 cameras, one up in a fixed area, then a handheld running around. You guys had at least 4 or 5 cameras, right?
Yeah, we did. We had two fixed, 2 handheld, and then one that would an angle up in the catwalk, and we'd use that one too. So we had the 5 angles that we'd go back to, just go to an area that was it was easy to shoot the show back then, because it was so hot. All the shows were really hot, high energy, and aggression was there, because we in the dressing room, it was like let's make it happen. I mean, it was like a football game in the dressing room. It was like everybody was fired up for the match, and